Good morning. It's Monday, June 17th. I hope you had a wonderful Father's Day yesterday. What's going on? Please, somebody give those people in Florida a squeegee. They've had more than their fair share of rain, haven't they? Other things is last week, President Biden and President Trump apparently met with company CEOs to present their economic plans for 2025. One wanted to cut taxes and the other one wanted to invest. Bet you can't guess which one wanted which one, can you? The other thing is apparently President Biden wants to have creditors for medical bills not be reported to crediting agencies. Is that a good thing? Well, people who are for it say, well, it won't go on their credit report, so they'll have better credit reports for home and automobile purchases. But the healthcare providers are saying, maybe not. That means that we probably won't get our bills paid because there's no consequence if you don't pay the bill, which means those that do pay are going to pay more, and insurance companies are going to pay more. Why can't we all just be responsible? Anyway, let's get to today's topic. Hey, today's topic is on participation and enrollment. What is participation? Most employees, you don't know what that means, but employers, you probably know what that means. That means that you have to enroll 70% of your eligible employees. What's an eligible employee? An eligible employee is an employee who does not have insurance through another source, such as a spouse or a parent. So 70% of those you have to enroll. The 30% can simply say, I don't want it just because I don't want it. And that can cause problems. This is why maybe Biden is trying to get this not applied to credit reports. Whatever. So let's talk about these enrollment forms. You know, these are the forms. They're kind of universal. The format might be different from one insurance company to the next, but they're really kind of universal. They ask a lot of things like demographic information. Demographic information. I don't know what that is. Come on, it's easy. It's things like your name, your address, your city, state, zip code. It can ask your birth date. It can ask your job title, how many hours a week are you working, your salary. You'd be surprised how many people have no clue what their salary is. Go figure. Social Security numbers. It asks for Social Security numbers. And, don't be so worried about Social Security numbers because once those forms get inputted, you see XXXX across the screen. It's internal and they get encrypted. So, that's for your security. Those things get encrypted. There's another section on these forms, the waiver section. Now this requires rocket science. This requires you to have an IQ higher than Sheldon from Big Bang. It asks, and I'm being facetious here, but you'd be surprised how many people mess this part up. It's asking where you're getting your insurance from. A spouse, a parent, or have you purchased it on your own? And it's asking the name of the insurance company. If you sign that section, you've waived the insurance, period. You want to sign it and waive if you have your insurance through these sources, because if you lose it, with that filled out properly, the insurance company for your employer has to take you, no questions asked, when you lose insurance through the other source that you have. And they'll cover pre-existing conditions. Woohoo! So that's why that section needs to be signed. You also need to sign the last page of the application too. So for those who are waiving, there's typically 2 signatures. Hey, so it was about a year ago or so. I went out and I enrolled a 25 to 30 life group. It was rejected by the insurance company. It was rejected because the employees just couldn't figure out how to fill out the enrollment form. And when that got back to the employer as to why their insurance was being rejected, and remember, today insurance is pretty much guaranteed issue, the employer says, you know what, I got to learn to hire better quality people. What's going on at the MLD agency? Well, this week we worked on a commercial insurance, worked on some property and casualty for somebody, worked on a couple of Medicare, and we had some death claims. And we also were working on some issues where providers were Insurance company says they never got it. The provider says they sent it. Go figure. So it was hard getting a procedure authorized. On the other hand, we also dealt with a situation. It was almost a $200,000 claim. That was on a Medicare supplement where Medicare denied it after the fact. So authorization is a fact of life and can't get around it. Anyway, I hope you have a great week coming up. Until next week, and we'll continue our topic about group health insurance.